Welcome to Turn the Page Tuesdays, where book journaling meets caffeinated chaos.
I'm Casey, the one who's probably spilling her coffee on her notebook.
And I'm Rachel, the one trying to keep it together.
Each week, we bring you weekly tips and sips, let you snoop inside our journals, and take you on wild bookish adventures.
So grab your coffee, crack open your journal, and let's turn the page before Casey spills something again.
Hi friends, thought I would come on here and give you a real quick wrap up of my November reads with my star ratings. The first book I read in November was Days at the Moisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa. I apologize if I mispronounced that, which I'm sure I did. I gave this book 4 stars. I loved it. I thought it was sweet and charming, and I'm actually excited to pick up the second one and read it. The next book I read was Florida Girls by L.L. Kuchner. I picked this one up through my local library. I listened to it as an audio. I was excited because it was about the Tampa, St. Pete area where I'm from, and a historical fiction about World War II. It was everything that in theory I would love. And I was really sad I didn't DNF it. I gave it 1 star and I thought it was generous. It was just too all over the place, constantly changing locations, a million different characters. This one was just not it, and I will not be continuing the series. Next, we have Confessions by a Grammar Queen by Eliza Knight. I read this one on my Kindle, also checked out on Libby. I enjoyed this book. I gave it 3 stars. It is definitely lessons in chemistry adjacent. I felt some of the same vibes, even chapters told by a dog. It just didn't have the same amount of awesomeness that I felt that book did, but I still enjoyed this fun, poppy chick lit book that bordered on historical fiction. 3 stars. Finally got back to some physical books with The Wren and the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. This has been on my TBR shelf forever. Finally picked it up this month. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. Didn't know it was a series. I guess it is. I'm planning on reading the other ones. Magical realism is probably what I would classify it. Monsters are out in the wild in New York City, roaming around with humans, and we got to figure out how to work together or not. I will definitely continue reading this. There were some plot holes that I didn't enjoy, so thus the 3 stars, but yeah, give it a go. I next read Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. This, again, was an audiobook that I got through Libby. It was a big library month. This was my 5-star book of the month. I loved this book. It was an awesome thriller set on a remote Scottish island with an author who thinks he sees his dead wife all over the island. Fantastic thriller. 5 stars all the way. The audio was fantastic. Definitely check it out. I then read The Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This is the second book in the series, and this was another audio through Libby. I've enjoyed this series, and this book might have actually been better than the first. I can't wait to read the third one. I rated this one 4 stars. I enjoy the 2 characters. I enjoy their will they, won't they. I'm really hoping eventually they do. Definitely check this out. I read the first one physical, listened to this one audio. I enjoyed them both. We'll see what the library has to offer for the third one. Next, I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Obviously, this one was everywhere on BookTok for a while. I actually was at Ollie's and picked it up for $4.99. And I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. The ending is what made me take away the 5th star. I enjoyed the different time settings. I really enjoy Henry and Addie. I like the back and forth and trying to figure out who really is cursed. I wanted a different ending, but I understood the ending. I would definitely recommend checking this out, and I'm planning on reading a lot more by V.E. Schwab. Like I said, I was on a roll this month with Libby. The next book that I listened to was Lincoln Lady's Spy Master by Jerry Willis. I gave this one 2 stars. It was not what it said it was going to be. I thought I was going to get a lot of really good information about a woman's role during the Civil War as a spy for the Union. This wasn't it. There was a lot of other information. This should have been named something along the line of Richmond during the Civil War. I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. If you're interested in the Civil War, it's worth a listen. But if you're thinking you're going to get a lot of information about women during the Civil War, this ain't it, friends. Next up was an ARC. This is the Bookshop Below by Georgia Summers. I got this through NetGalley. I gave it 3 stars. It was an interesting, different magical realism. Of course, I love a good story about a bookshop, and who doesn't love a magical river with a bunch of magical bookshops? I listened to this one. I thought the audio was fantastic. Obviously, we started to set up a series, which I'm not always a fan of. It's like the author decided about halfway through, hey, I think I can write a couple more books about this, and it's just missing a little something. But it was entertaining, and like I said, 3 stars. And my final book of November was The Ex-Girlfriend Murder Club by Gloria Chow. I needed a palate cleanser. I felt like I was living in romantasy, fantasy, magical realism for most of the month, and I wanted something fun and lighthearted, and who doesn't love a good murder mystery? I thought this was great. I loved the 3 friends together, and the ending had a fantastic twist. I gave this one 4 stars. Definitely check it out. So that's my November wrap up. What do you think? Is there something you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what I need to add to my TBR list for December and maybe January. Can't wait to hear what you say. Bye.